the Dork Podcast with Rich Keefe. It's the Dork Podcast. Gary Tanguay. It's the Dork Podcast. Hashtag. It's the hashtag Dork Podcast.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Hashtag Dork. My name is Rich Keefe, joined as always by Davey Eyeballs. He is Razzle Von Dazzle. All hail the king of ginger ale. It's Ryan Davey. Davey, how are you?
I'm really excited.
Why are you excited, Ryan?
We get a big thing to talk about tonight.
Hello! Oh, you know what that means. When you hear a doorbell and Mrs. Doubtfire saying hello, that means we have a very special guest, and it's none other than Gary Tanguay. Gary, how are you?
Guys, how are you? Good to see you again. Happy holidays.
Yes, same to you. We've been looking forward to this very much. And I'll tell you what, I was thinking about after seeing you pop up in Knives Out, I Care a Lot, Don't Look Up. I was like, we should have Gary on anyway, just to talk about, you know, his acting career. And then next thing I know, you pop up in The Chair Company, starring Tim Robinson, who has become an absolute favorite of ours here on the podcast. We've done standalone episodes for all 3 seasons of I Think You Should Leave, for Friendship, the movie that came out earlier this year. So we love Tim Robinson. So first, just catch me up. How did you get involved in this? Was there like an audition process? Like how did you first come into contact with The Chair Company?
Well, this just goes to show how the business works, and the acting business is no different than broadcasting, Rich, as you know, is it all comes down to relationships and networking, which is actually something I enjoy doing because I enjoy meeting a lot of different people in the business, whether it's radio, TV, or film, or whatever. So I was on Don't Look Up with Adam McKay, and Adam McKay is a huge basketball fan. Well, I mean, this guy knows the NBA inside and out. Grew up a Sixers fan, and you know when he found out I was doing the pregame of the Celtics, he just wouldn't stop talking about basketball. And so when I got in Don't Look Up, I went from having 2 lines to like being in 7 scenes and working a week, and I just really got along with Adam and the crew. And they didn't use all the scenes; they used like 3 or 4. But so when I saw that Adam was producing The Chair Company, I just started putting my feelers out, and I have no idea if my connection with him helped. But then my manager submitted me for the audition process, and I started knocking on their door when the pilot came out. And then a year later, I got a call to audition, and I auditioned for 3 parts. You'll enjoy this. I auditioned, you know, the guy, the in-law, the father-in-law, who talks about the dead dog in the picture.
Hated the dog.
Yeah,
right. He did jump a lot. Yeah, he did jump a lot.
Now he's in Tim's. He works with Tim all the time.
Yeah,
I mean, you could see him in the I Think You Should Leave things. You know, Tim works with a lot of the same people. So I did that audition. I didn't get it. Then I auditioned for the Jeep passenger when he was doing the Jeep rides, which was a great audition because it was so much fun. And it was absolutely the most fun I've had in an audition, and there were no words because they just said, pretend you're riding in a Jeep like this, right? And then that you hit your head on the wind on the dashboard. I went boom like that, and it was just, and they just said like do it like 5 times in a row. It was a blast, and I didn't get that. And then
you got to keep rubbing your hands together and saying, I don't know.
Right. Well, that was it. That was the line. I don't know. That was the line. Like he hits his head and I don't know. And then I read for Evan, and then I got the part for Evan, which was great. And we shot at various locations. We shot a bunch of different times. Like episode 4, I'm actually in episode 4. It's like I sat there getting ready for episode 4, and I said to my wife, who thinks I'm nuts, like she doesn't want, your spouse's significant others, they don't care what you do. Right. Like they don't listen to you on the radio. Right. They don't care about your hot takes, and which is great, which is what you want. So she's like, but my son's friends love the show because that's like you guys, you know? Mm-hmm. So I'm waiting episode 4, and I go, we shot for a whole night in a restaurant. And I went, boy, I don't know if this, when we were shooting it, I said, I don't know if this is going to make it because it was repetitive. And I didn't know if they need, when you watch enough TV, you can figure stuff out. So we're sitting in the restaurant, and it's in episode 4 when you see me through the window for like 10 seconds.
Yes.
Well, that was a 3-minute scene, right? That we shot. That ended up being, 10 seconds in the way. But it totally made sense because once you saw the story strung together, you didn't really need it, right? But we had a great time. I mean, Lake Bell is a blast. She's, she was fun. Catherine, who played my wife, who's a veteran Broadway actress, she just ended up doing 5 years of Harry Potter in London.
Oh, wow.
And now she's doing William V or whatever in New York. And then Joseph, who played Lake's assistant, he's a funny dude. He's actually a puppeteer by trade. So you meet a lot, like, unlike sports, which is great, you just meet a lot of different, interesting people who aren't arguing with you all the time, And I just sat there and I was talking to Catherine and I go, what was it like doing plays in the West End in London? I mean, my God, that's, so you could tell when we were shooting that scene I was like, I don't know if we're going to make it, and it didn't make it. So then we went back and for episode 7, we shot in this mansion on Long Island in the Hamptons that actually they used that house a lot for The Diplomat.
Oh.
I was told when we were there, like the crew, like some of the crew guys were like, yeah, we were here for The Diplomat last week. And, right. And it was a blast. It was just, there was a lot of stuff we shot that they didn't use, but you expect that. The table scene was really funny when we shot it. And Tim kept laughing through the whole thing. And it was just a blast,
Yeah. So what is Tim Robinson like? I mean, he's like,
you would love him. I mean, you really wouldn't know. I know people are going to say, well, what's Tanguay going to say? He's a huge sports fan, as you know.
Yes.
So we talk sport. Yeah. I mean, in between takes, it was like, the Pistons. He was so happy that the Celtics got bounced, of course, because he's a huge Pistons fan. He was excited about the Lions, and just a huge Detroit sports fan. And that's what we talked about. Talked about the Tigers, talked about the Lions and their coach, and talked about the Celtics and how. And I told him, I said, look out for the Pistons because they're poised. I mean, Rich, the way the NBA is. I mean, the way the NBA is now, it's almost superstars are so spread out. If you have a really good team, you can actually do something, which is what they're doing. So he was great to work with. But what I took away from it, it's like, and Andy was the director. Andy directed my episode 7. He also directed and wrote Friendship.
Yes. Yeah, I knew. I did remember that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Great guy, super chill. And in episode 7, we were shooting in the mansion with all that. There's probably 75 extras in there. It's a huge set. And we had a first AD and a second AD, and these guys were on it. They got things moving. It's very professional. 3-camera shoot. Terrific director of photography. She was great. But they're just like, boom, boom, boom. But when they yell action, it's playtime. Like Tim and Lake, like it's on. Yeah. Like they'll do anything. Like they try anything. Like they and that's how they do it. It's kind of like, it's probably a lot like SNL. I mean, and his buddy Zach, who he co-created it with, he's rewriting stuff as they go. So what I tell people is once you get past all the pomp and circumstance, like this Tim Robinson is right now the hottest probably comedic actor in the business right now. And then there's Lake Bell, who everybody who's done him is well known. Once they say action, it's the same stuff. It's like doing a bit on the radio. It's like doing a play in high school. They're just all trying stuff and they don't care. The best thing about them is they don't care if they do a take and it stinks. Like in sports radio, sometimes I get frustrated. Everybody's like, that's terrible. That's terrible. Like, okay, well, let's try it. Okay, that didn't work. Well, then they laugh it off and they go, well, let's try it again. And you would love him. I mean, he doesn't do podcasts. You could put in a request. I don't know, but he's laying pretty low. He's just kind of doing Seth Meyers, but you guys would love Tim. He's
let
great.
this be our formal request at this point.
Yes, exactly.
Because I know he's gonna listen to this because a lot of people do. So
There you go.
the question I have is like, this brand of humor that has become kind of mainstream now, but it is still like this like offbeat kind of comedy. It's kind of like anti-comedy,
It's a great question, and I know exactly what you mean because
like is there like people in this that like don't get it like immediately? Like when you see something written versus how it's acted, do you find yourself at times being like, wait, like you don't get it immediately?
Work? Yeah.
Guilty. Me.
Yeah.
So I get the scene, and it's at the table, and with the balls in the bag.
Yeah.
Right, the little they changed. Here's an example. They changed the name of those things like 3 times. At first, they were mincemeat balls. Then they were this balls and that. And they go, "No, try this or try that." Right? And Tim's like laughing, like he's just sitting next to me, like at the table, and like he's real serious there, but like he just starts laughing, And so, which is great for a set because when the number one guy on the call sheet is laughing, everybody's loose, right? Like you can't mess up. Mm-hmm. So that whole dinner scene with the baggie and the food, and I don't want, when you in the food bag, I read it and I'm like, I don't get it. Like I'm like lost.
Yeah.
But when they did it,
yeah,
it was funny. Like, but also they only used a snippet of it. Like at one point in time, Tim says, he goes, take the ball out of the bag slowly and sort of taunt me with it. and when they did it, that's funny. Yeah. Like I was like, okay. So Tim's like, okay. And then, Andy comes in as like the director. Like, well, take the bag out and try this stuff and, move it around a little bit. And they didn't end up using it. But that's like, I'm like, okay, this is how you do it. And it's interesting because and I thought about this. If you look at like somebody my age, my demographic, I remember when Saturday Night Live came on the air in 1975. I was like 8, right? And it was Belushi and then Animal House and all that stuff and Meatballs with Murray. Then I remember then it was Eddie Murphy. By the time I was in college, like Eddie Murphy and Delirious was out, right? I'm totally dating myself. And every time, and I've heard Norm Michaels talk about this, each generation has a group of comedians. Like my wife is 9 years younger than me. She loves Adam Sandler. I mean, loves him. And I think he's funny, but I don't like my guy was Eddie Murphy or Belushi, right? And now my son and all of his college friends, they love Tim Robinson. I mean, they think he's a god. And my daughter's watching it with me. She's 23. She can't stop laughing. Like the faces he makes or just the little offbeat things, like, the guy in the motorized wheelchair,
Yes.
Who's a head writer from SNL forever.
Jim Downey.
Jim Downey, who's a legend.
Yeah.
Just the things he says, like my daughter's like, she's howling. Like, so I think it's generational. I know like Adam Hart at Comcast, he, who I used to work with, like he worships at the altar. He thinks he's hilarious. So I think, Tim's time is now. It's like every comedian kind of has their time. And like he was on SNL and then he was a writer and then he went away and he started doing this stuff. And it was like he followed Sandberg. And like I remember when Sandberg came out and like he was completely different, right? Like all those guys, the Lonely Island guys and the Dick in the Box and all that. So I just think it's Tim Robinson's time.
Yeah, like I remember watching, not to switch gears, but like the movie Hot Rod with Sandberg, and it like flopped, and like people were like, I don't think they got it, but like I love that movie, and I would recommend that to anybody. Like that movie's hilarious. Well,
how many times? I mean, you guys would know this, and stop me if I'm talking too much, but you guys would know this. How many comedies are out there that took a while? Like I heard Jeff Bridges talk about this, and I forgot about it. The Dude was not a hit.
Yeah.
It's funny. So like I saw that movie. This is a true story. So that movie came out in like 99, right?
Mhm.
I was roommates with a kid at our boarding school whose name was Rich Keefe, who like I was saying like over like, you got to watch this movie. You got to watch this movie. You got to watch it. And we wound up watching it. And he's like,
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was good. I was like, it didn't hit me at
but
first.
he didn't get
Wasn't
like
my
why
favorite.
I was like, this is the best movie I've ever seen.
Yeah,
Like,
Right.
Big Lebowski is the best
slow
movie.
builds.
One of my favorite.
I love MacGruber. And speaking of SNL guys, like Will Forte took a character from SNL, made it R-rated, did not do any money at the box office. I don't think they really knew how to like advertise it, but for a certain demographic of people, it's like the funniest movie ever. And I think Tim Robinson the same way. Although Tim Robinson, very different, I would say, than like Sandberg or Forte, because like between Friendship and The Chair Company, there's a real like dark comedy conspiracy theory element to it, which Sandberg doesn't really go down. You know, even Will Forte doesn't really go down that road. Like Chair Company, there were a ton of like what the fuck moments, including the very end, Gary, which you need to explain to us what happened at the end. This is all spoilers, by the way, for Chair Company. If you haven't seen it, go back and watch it. The very ending, and like the whole idea is like it's conspiracy theories and it's Tim Robinson investigating all this stuff, and it's fun and it's funny. But then the ending is just like crazy, and then it just like hits credits, and it's like over. So
like Lou Diamond Phillips is the bad guy.
Yes, yeah. You're like, wait a minute, what is happening here?
Well, I don't know. And I, you know, all I can tell you is that I know that Adam McKay, since leaving Will, all of his efforts are environmentally motivated. Right? If you look like Don't Look Up, it's about global warming. I mean, he's very adamant. Adam, who, by the way, is like a genius and the smartest person. I mean, he's unbelievable. He's off the charts. Everything he's involved in, there is an environmental or some sort of message. So the only thing I can figure, and I don't know this, I'm just talking about, because the only two scripts I got were the shows I was in.
Oh, okay.
I only got episode 4 and episode 7. I did not get the other ones. So the only thing I can tell you is it must have something to do with capitalism or the environment, or, you know, there's an underlying message in The Chair Company. There's no doubt. There's no question about that. There's some sort of underlying life lesson message that I'm not sure I'm clear on yet.
Yeah.
That's, you know, like they're smuggling something in the chair. And I think more will come in season 2. You know, and the thing of it is Catherine, who my wife was, I thought she was based on the script because, you know, I wasn't in that scene, but I was in the house. Like they went upstairs and shot that. And I was like, you know, when they have the picture of me in Niagara Falls.
Yeah. Oh, I had a question about that real quick. How do they do that? Because I noticed that as I was watching the episode, and I don't know anything about Hollywood or how they make shows.
Right.
So did you have to go behind a green screen with the actors?
We did it in the green screen. Yeah, Catherine and I stood in front of a green screen, and they put us in a wardrobe. We did a green screen, and then they just did it. Right. So, and I knew that the fight, like Tim likes to work with his friends. The guy he gets in the fight with, that's his buddy. They're like, from what I understand, they were Second City together. And from what I was told, I wish we just could have been in a room.
Yeah.
They went on forever. Like the outtakes from that must be like, like they just went, Catherine was like, I don't know what the hell just happened, but those two guys just were like, they were having a blast. That's the key to Tim Robinson. Like, he's having a blast. Like at the end of a take, he'll look around because even though like Andy's directing, I mean, it's Tim and Zach. You know, they'll look around and they'll go, "Yeah, we're good." And there's an element of seriousness for a minute, but when they say action, I mean, it's on. It's they're you know, it's on, and like even like the thing that I've learned to appreciate about his humor is for example, there's and I think you should leave. He's on the phone with his dad. He's got the mustache, And
yeah.
And he says, like, I slept with your mom. He goes, does my dad know? My dad's alive, right? And then, and he's calling mom, and then, or he says, I love you. And that's funny. But then he says, say it back, say it back. Say it right. And I'm pissing, Richie, I'm pissing my pants. I'm on the floor. And then in Friendship, which Andy wrote, who's a really smart guy, by the way. Andy wrote, he did a lot of work on Forte's show, Last Man.
Oh, Last Man on Earth.
Yeah, Andy directed it. Yeah. Andy did a lot on that. And you can see it, you know. The thing about their comedy is it's extremely silly, but smart at the same time.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, so in Friendship, when he goes on the mushroom trip, and the guy called Subway an eatery.
An eatery.
Yeah,
so good.
I didn't notice it the first time I watched it.
Yeah, the words they use. My wife says this all the time when we watch these shows. It's like on the one hand, like on the surface, like, oh, this is dumb comedy, but it's like the word choices they use are what makes it so funny. And like, you're right, calling it an eatery.
I'm like, I'm dying, and I wish.
Yeah.
I like when I met those guys, I wish I had noticed that, you know, and they were like, an eatery? Like, he goes, what's an eatery?
Yes.
It still makes me laugh.
Well, that's a big lick. That's a big lick.
That's right. So that's a big lick.
Too big.
Right. So, but here's another thing though, too, is like, there's also kind of I think there's also kind of like a horror. The thing that I think that is interesting now, what we're seeing with comedies, is it's not just comedy. It's because there's so much content out there. There's also suspense. Like, they make you laugh, but you're also like, what the fuck is going on?
Oh yeah, you're trying to figure it out as it's going on. Definitely.
You know, so there's a mystery element. And even in Friendship, when Kate Mara gets lost in the sewer, it's pretty fucking dark, man.
That's really scary. Like, that'd be really scary. And like his reaction to it. And I think that for me, like, I think when I like Tim Robinson's stuff the best is like the physicality of it. Like, I'm saying this with love, right? He's such like a cartoonish looking dude.
Right.
That when he gets amped up and starts yelling at people, it's some of the funniest stuff
I've
ever
seen.
It's
great. He has some of the best like eye acting, like when he just like,
and he like starts like moving all crazy. People. Like it's
great.
It's great.
Gary, have you been asked about returning for season 2?
No, I'm fingers crossed, but
yeah, I mean,
you know it's not going to be good, Rich, if you see some other dude named Evan in there.
They can't do that. I feel like, but your character's wife is going to be, I would think, a pretty decent sized part in season 2.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. You know, I don't think that I'm not saying anything out of school. It's if you notice this is how they work. Like, these guys are so. The great thing about working with them, or there are no limits. Like, there are no limits. So my character in episode 4, you couldn't see through the window. My hair is gray. I'm in the chair for an hour making it gray, right? So I go in and I get gray hair and we're talking, and, you know, a lot of that scene was ad-libbed, and, you know, that's when, you know, because Tim sat next to me, we talked for a while, then he went and sat on the other side, and they, you know, we ad-libbed stuff and stuff like that, which they didn't use. And, Joseph, who plays Lake's assistant, he's hilarious. What a good dude! Oh my god! And he's a master puppeteer too. He's hilarious. And so, you know, my hair was gray, and the storyline is when we meet in episode 7. She says, "Oh, Evan went to got his hair cut today, and the woman dyed his hair black by mistake, but he didn't have the heart to tell her." And I go, and my line was, "Oh, it'll grow back. It'll grow back." And then I said to Tim, Oh, you got a new, and then we wait for 5 seconds, and then he goes, "You got a new dog?" I go, "You got a new dog, Tim?" "Yeah, it's a puppy." And then Lake does the whole, "Well, we got to get going" type of thing. And she's a great actor, by the way. She's
I like her.
awesome. Yeah. No, but but they didn't use that. But they also didn't. There was a ton of stuff that happened at the kitchen, at the table, that they didn't use. You know what I mean? Like it's so like. But when I go back and watch it, I go, I get it. They want to. They keep it going. I mean, like if they didn't show me with gray hair in episode 4, they're not going to refer to it in episode 7.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like Lake Bell she's like the adult in the room. I mean, she's on it. She's great. Got a couple of kids. We were talking about family and stuff. But awesome. She comes in, gets it done. So it was cool. I mean, it was really cool.
Now, 10 years ago, Gary, when you are, talking baseball with Lou Merlone and John Tomasi, are you thinking in the back of your head, like, I want to be in movies and TV shows? Like, at what point were you like, this is something I'm going to try, this is something I'm going to go do?
Well, it's always been there. I mean, I did plays in high school, and then when I worked in radio and television in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, I did plays in Portsmouth. I've always loved the theater and loved sports. And I did a bunch of plays in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, in small theaters. We did a play in Dover, New Hampshire, where we were like, I don't know, like 23, 24, and we built a stage in the middle of a function room, which is where they had like weddings, and people from the radio station, we just put on a play, called Breakfast with Les and Bess. And, we get like 30 people a night, 50 people a night, whatever. And then I'd get up the next morning and do the sports on the radio. And then when I did, you'll love this one, fellas. When I was working in Worcester at WTM, this is when I met Dickerson. Mm-hmm. I did a play in a senior citizen home.
Come on now.
A one-man play.
Come on now. Keep it coming. Keep it more detail.
We did a play. It was a great group. Like the thing I tell people, it was a great group of actors. The thing I tell people,
great
like
audience.
in business, when I taught at Emerson, I said, everybody in this business should take an acting class. Everybody should, because it gets rid of you. Like I took an acting class in New York once, where they tell you, we want you to show your inner animal. So you got to like roll on a floor and like, I'm a snake. And I just imagine myself like, pick any of our talk show friends rolling around the floor as a snake. And they, their hair would pop off. And it's like, I find it very liberating. But yeah, so no, in the senior citizen home, they had a little stage, and we put on a play, and we had people come in from the public, but the deal was we had to do a matinee for the residents. So a couple people fell asleep.
I was gonna say probably not a standing ovation, but
so I did it. So when I almost went to New York. I was going back and forth. I went down to New York. I was taking classes. I was going, and I looked at an apartment in New York in my 20, I don't know, 20s, 28, whatever it was. And then I got a call to start doing sports television part-time. And I swear to God, this is how it happened. I got drunk. You guys don't know who Alan Miller is. Maybe you do. But Alan Miller was Bob Lobel's producer forever at Channel 4. Okay. Still a good friend of mine, lives on the South Shore. He, like you guys know the legendary story of Al Nipper and Clemens being drunk on the set with sunglasses.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
At Channel 4.
Yeah.
Well, Alan put the beer in their limo.
Got it.
Okay.
Oh boy.
So that's the way that rolled.
Okay.
So Alan was Lobel's right-hand man, and I got drunk with Alan Miller at Daisy Buchanan's. And this is the way the business works. I got drunk with him at Daisy Buchanan's.
Yeah. I
was doing some radio work, and he goes, and I stayed up with him till 4 a.m. I went beer for beer with him. And he went, I love you. Because Tanger, I'm going to put you on TV. Like, 3 months later, I'm on Channel 4.
That's wild.
And because they were starting to use freelancers. Scott Wally went to, and so I was like, well, this is cool because I get to perform.
Yeah.
And what you guys do every day, you're all performers.
Yeah.
I mean, you are. I mean, you and Jones. I mean, all you guys are. You're all performers. So I decided to go that route, and then I met my wife at Channel 4, and then had kids. But what it enabled me to do, and I loved it. We had a blast. I mean, Keith, you've been on it. I mean, our gig at NBC or Comcast, we had it was a blast. We had a blast. It was so easy, and they let me be a newscaster. So whenever movies came to town, I've played like a newscaster in like 15 different movies. Yeah. And that enabled me to get in the door and start doing more stuff. Like I'm in Ella McKay coming out.
Yeah, I saw the preview for this. This has got a big cast in this one.
Dude, I got to tell you, working with Tim Robinson was awesome. But for a week, and I have 2 lines, and I will preface this: they could get cut. I'm just saying it right now. I play a senator.
Yeah.
Right. For 2 weeks, and for a week, we shot with Albert Brooks, Jamie Lee Curtis, and Emma Mackey. And Albert Brooks, I rode in the van with him. He's just funny. He just reads the phone book, and he's funny. And Jamie Lee Curtis, I asked her about what it was like to work on The Bear, and she told me all kinds of stories and told me about how they shot, Everything Everywhere All at Once with the rubber fingers. And, she was giving me all the technical stuff, which was like, it was awesome.
Yeah.
And that's a big movie. And then James L. Brooks is the director. And it's like, holy crap, that's James L. Brooks.
Yeah.
And I was, it was a blast. But at the end of the day, it's the same thing. When they say action, it's just playtime.
Yeah.
Like Albert Brooks does it a million different ways. Like he sits there and he goes, Jim, let me try it this way. Let me try it that way. And he agonizes over it. Let me try it again here. Let me try it again there. It's the same, when it's the same stuff.
Yeah.
So it's cool.
It is cool. Yeah, because we've talked, I think, before about your scene in I Care a Lot.
Right.
It's awesome. That was Rosamund Pike.
She's awesome.
It was incredible. She was amazing in that movie. Like
she's unbelievable.
She was insane in that movie. I think she got nominated, or did she win a Golden Globe?
She won a Golden Globe for it.
Yeah, she won it.
Yeah. So I was not originally cast in that.
Oh, interesting. I
read for it, and I was coming off my cancer treatment. That's why I'm bald.
Mm.
And my wife was like, "Are you like you're just coming out of chemo?" And I'm like, "Look." Yeah, because I said, if anything, this has taught me, don't look back. So I said, when I had my shaved head, and do you have a son? Are your kids? Do you have a boy, Rich?
We both have 2 girls.
Oh, you both have 2 girls. Okay.
Yeah.
So my son, who's now 20 years old and in college, tremendous ball buster, right?
Yeah.
So when I get the head shaved, when they're going to shave the head, he was like, Dad, I got to be honest with you. Oh, he had an app that made me look bald before I got bald.
So you could see it at the time?
And he puts it up at the dinner table. He goes, Dad, I got to tell you, this is not going to be a good look.
Thanks.
This isn't going to work.
Yeah.
Right. And then when they actually shaved it, because my hair was falling, because I was adamant, I'm going to keep my hair. And my doctor was like, dude, it's coming out. So next thing you know, I'm driving, it's falling out of my head, it's spitting it out of my mouth. It's, so then I shaved it off, and my son goes up, he goes to me and he goes, huh, not as ugly as I thought. He went, like that. So I had some headshots done, and my wife was I go, listen, this fucking cancer, if I'm going to take anything from it, it's going to be a new look.
Yeah.
And I got the part because the guy that originally was supposed to do it bailed. He couldn't do it. So they called me the day before.
Yeah.
And they go, can you come in and do it?
Yeah.
And I went in, and Rosamund Pike, I walked in the door, and Rosamund Pike is standing there, and I don't know, like I've seen actors before, like when you see Albert Brooks, you're like, that's Albert Brooks, or Jamie Lee Curtis, who's Jamie Lee Curtis. I mean, they're huge. But I saw Rosamund Pike in person, and talented, one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh my God, that's a movie star.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. And she was great in the scene. And so after, when we're doing the scene, like, you know how they do the turnarounds, like she stayed and she did them with me. And then she's like laid back and she's talking sports and she asked about soccer and, you know, what's going, you know, her son was into soccer, and she just puts her feet up and starts shooting the shit. And then she was great. And then I was like, whoa. I didn't ask her, but I wonder, because she was in Reacher, like she was the it girl, man. She was a Bond girl.
Yeah.
And then she just didn't want to do that. She wanted to do good work, you know.
Yeah.
And she did it, and I care a lot. I mean, she hit it out of the park.
She was unbelievable in that movie for sure. All right, Gary, before we get you out of here, I got a series of questions for both of you guys as it relates to the chair company. Let's start with this. Did Amanda, in fact, cause the chair to collapse using telekinesis, as her boyfriend claims in the finale? Do you subscribe to that theory, Davey?
No, I do not.
Okay, Gary.
No, I don't think so.
And I think
I know. I don't think so. No, I think that it was. I think it might have been a setup, but I don't think it was telekinesis.
Okay.
There was a whole thing with the guy with the hippie shirt where he's like, they made me believe that I could like think of things with my mind, like create things with my mind, like that whole thing. Like they were laying the groundwork with that, which was another great part, the hippie shirt.
All right. Can you trust Mike? Mike was sort of the right-hand man of Tim Robinson's character throughout the whole series. Well, first he really wasn't, but then they became sort of partners in crime. You hear this unbelievable backstory about how he was given a guy's heart and then walked that guy's daughter down the aisle, then tried to hit on the mom, but she wasn't giving him enough hugs. Then he pivoted to the daughter and said, I like you even more because you're younger. But can Tim Robinson trust Mike?
I don't think you can trust anybody at this point.
I agree. Probably not.
Mike's porn addiction freaked me out.
He was just listening.
He wasn't watching it. He was just listening to it.
Did you see the end of episode 5?
I did. Ebenezer Scrooge was a surprise for me. That was a surprise. Yeah. Were you watching that? You weren't watching that with your kids, were you?
No. Oh God, no. I would not. No. I was like, I go, what? Oh my God. I mean, is this like Boogie Nights?
No, there was I watched the show every week with my wife, and there was like this moment where we were just kind of both sitting there, and then she goes, okay, and just like got it, like all right, there we go.
All right. Do you guys think
so?
Go ahead.
I think Mike in the end is still good. I just think he's damaged.
Yes, that might be.
What a great actor, though. That dude, this is a big break for him.
Yeah, very funny. Very funny.
And that's the other thing. Like the people they think, the secondary characters that you included, but like the people they find, like the guy who was like the shirt employee, like where the hell did they find that guy?
Well, he's actually a real salesman.
Is he?
Yeah. Like
no, you mean when he goes into the store with the shirt?
Yeah.
No. He works in that store.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And they go, you're in.
He was incredible. We talked about that because was that the first or second episode that we saw him, and then he popped it briefly later on.
Right.
But yeah, just like his cadence was funny. Everything about that guy.
And also like Rob's assistant, like when they're at the groundbreaking and they cut to her and she spits.
Yes.
See, that's the genius of it. To me, it's like the other, like you see the stuff that they do. But then, like, all of a sudden, you just see her spitting. And you go, that's brilliant. That other shoe drops.
Yeah,
right.
It's like, say it.
Okay, bye. Yeah.
One of the laugh out loud moments for me was when Tim Robinson didn't want to ride to the TV interview with the person from work. And so they made him separately. And then he's trying to lose her, and then she gets like behind a truck, and then you just hear her screaming from so far away for so long. That part's amazing.
She's great.
She's
She's very funny. Yeah, she's not a good driver at all. She's very
Oh,
funny.
the other part too, we were dying with she told her to go get snacks, and she got like granola.
Yeah,
Right.
terrible snacks. You just need people to get out of the way. Douglas, Jim Downey was very, very funny. He had that scene where he's talking to Ron, Tim's character, and he's like, Ron, the morale is down. I think I'm gonna dress up as a chicken tomorrow.
Don't dress up as a.
Did you guys see Downey wrote that?
No, he did. That makes sense.
No, the documentary.
What do you mean? What documentary?
There's a documentary on Peacock called Downey Wrote That.
Oh,
And it's all of the actors from SNL talking about the skits Downey wrote.
That's hilarious. Because I've
You
seen
got to,
it.
I mean, because he and Norm going after OJ.
Yes.
Legendary.
Yeah.
And you guys got to watch it. Downey wrote that. It's unbelievable.
All right. I'll check that out because I listen to the Carvey Spade podcast sometimes.
Right.
They reference Downey all the time.
Oh, he's a god.
But like, I remember learning his name with it was Billy Madison when he was like the at the end when they're doing the thing.
Right.
That, what you just said.
The God of mercy on your soul. Yeah.
And like everyone would thought like that movie was hilarious when it first came out, but I remember like watching that and be like, no, that's funny. Like that's like
yeah.
He was in There
Mercy on Your Soul.
He was in There Will Be Blood too, right?
He was just in One Battle After Another. The movie that came out with Leo earlier this year that might win.
Right.
He was
right.
There Will Be Blood.
He was in that too. Okay, yeah. So he's had a big year.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
Better fake name, Bald Harmon or Stacy Crystals? Who's Bald Harmon when he finds out when he didn't get the face modeling gig because he lost out to Bald Harmon, which he never even applied for? Bald Harmon. Stacy Crystals cracked me up though at the end. I like Stacey
I go with Bald Harmon. I mean, but Stacy Crystals, I mean, it sounds like a stripper or a porn name. I mean, Bald Harmon is hilarious. And that's another thing. See, here's another thing that, because I've tried to write things and write screenplays, and I actually did to completely name drop because I love to tell the story. Myself and a co-writer had a meeting with Norm Macdonald once, and it was awesome, and there was just through a connection, and it was about a TV sportscaster. Shocking, but the rule of thumb that Tim and Zach break is like you have to kind of stick to the topic. Like you everything that happens has to be tied in to the storyline. And these guys don't give a shit about that.
Yeah.
It's like if it's funny, it's funny. Now, I don't know if I'm not smart enough to know, like like at the dinner table, when the guy shows up with the mince balls, what's that got to do with anything?
But
it's funny.
It is. Yeah. Well, like, is there a reason why the guy in the bar had a big dent in his head, and then you eventually wait, and then he elbows him in the dent, and then it gets brought up later? Like, I can't believe you hit the guy in the dent.
You hit him right in the dent. You could have hurt him. You could have really killed him.
Because you're not even sure if you should be looking at it. You're like, what is this character now? And then he finally hits him in the dent after all that time.
Well, and that's the thing. Like 20 years ago, somebody would have said, "Well, that doesn't work." But now, because you always look to invent and do something different, people love it.
So good. When he brings the dog back, which you had mentioned earlier, he's like, baby's here, and it's a giant dog, and he's like, it's a puppy.
And then the dog,
pound dog.
The dog goes home.
Yeah, the dog. Minnie Mouse went home, which I did not have on my bingo card, which was the name of the episode. He's like, take a picture with me and then put it on Instagram. Say I'm a hero.
Like, and I'm just like, wow. He's like passed out on the thing. You know, oh my God. Like
that guy's like, yeah, he's luring him into his shed. He's like, look, I made a new shape. It makes no sense. Would either of you guys try Wendy's Carvers if they had like an upscale ham place? No?
Never. And knowing how those pictures were shot and how bad it smells in the house.
It's just ham smell. It's not a bad smell. It's just a ham smell.
My drinking days are long gone behind me, but when I met Alan Miller at 4 a.m. at Daisy Buchanan's, I would have tried Wendy's Carvers.
Yeah.
If he pitched, we're gonna go to Wendy's Carvers, you're gonna try this, you'd be like,
Yes. The other line I liked real quick from his daughter talking about his daughter's fiance or his fiance, and she's like, she was cooking and she's like, yeah, Tara makes me add olives to everything because she says everything is bland without them.
Right. It's like, what?
It's only good with olives.
She's so good, by the way, his daughter.
She was great.
She's good,
She was
yeah.
in the movie It,
Yeah.
in It Chapter 2. She was excellent in that. But yeah, it's great.
The other thing that got when he tried to buy the detective kit to do fingerprints, and it was like a joke.
He gets it, the little hat, the little investigator hat. And then his son's line is, yeah, I read about these on the internet. And Tim Robinson looks at him like, he's like, I just gave you, you read about this on the internet? But anyway, excellent stuff, Gary. We appreciate you coming on. We'll look for you and Ella McKay next month. We won't hold it against you if they decide to cut your scenes, but
well, yeah, you just never know. But I really appreciate it, guys. Rich, nice to meet you.
Nice to
Rich,
meet you.
great to talk to you again, and thanks for having me on.
absolutely.
The hashtag Dork Podcast.